All right. 3:30 game, the Tulane Ole Miss. The major point here is I think Ole Miss has a legitimate shot against Georgia. And I'll tell you why. They had Georgia on the ropes in the first game. They were up on them by 9 points going into the fourth quarter until Georgia scored 17 in the fourth quarter to come back and win 43-35 in a game that was in Athens in, I believe, mid-October. But Ole Miss was winning that game. Chambliss was in the zone. I believe he had like 300 yards that game. Ole Miss was moving the ball, almost 400 yards of total offense to Georgia's 510, which obviously, Ole Miss's defense is the big question mark against Georgia because I think that's where there's kind of the disadvantage. But Ole Miss has the weapons to do it, man. I mean, they are one of 4 teams in the country who has 4 receivers over 500 yards, led by like Harrison Wallace and Dazon Stripling, guys like that. They've got talent everywhere, and they finally have a run game with Q and Lacey. They showed it yesterday. They really poured it on Tulane. I thought their defense kind of left a lot to be desired, letting Tulane move the ball up and down. Obviously, 10 points didn't tell the whole story, but Retzloff threw a couple picks or had a couple turnovers. One costly pick on the first drive where, if Tulane scored there, it might have been a different story. This game wasn't, was never close, but also probably wasn't as big of a blowout as the final score projected. Tulane moved the ball. Retzlaff had over 306 passing yards, just could not really punch it in the end zone. Only did one time. Like you said, three turnovers of the game, but 421 yards total in the game to 497 on Ole Miss. So I think Ole Miss has a lot to clean up on defense if they want to take down Georgia, but they have the offensive horses to do it. I really think they do. That's a game that was only 8 points, 1 possession in Athens, so you get a neutral site game now. Ole Miss seems to have a new coach bump from Pete Golding yesterday. I thought that was honestly in their favor. It seemed like the crowd was really behind them. Obviously, there's been a lot of drama around the Lane Kiffin saga, but Chambliss was phenomenal yesterday. Got injured there for a second. I know Ole Miss fans were a little worried. And then backup Austin Simmons had to come in the game for a little bit, but Chambliss came back. Second half was dominant, and they are ready. I think that's an interesting game in the quarterfinals that Georgia might not be expecting as close of a matchup as we'll get. But I think it's only a 7-point spread, which I think is fair. First game was 8 points at Georgia, so neutral site game. Could be different, but being 12-1, I think Ole Miss is legit, and I think they've got the weapons to do it. And I'm excited for that Georgia game. I think it's going to be a really good one.